It's official. Damian Lillard is going back home to the Portland Trail Blazers, where he spent 11 seasons before going to seek a title with Giannis and the Bucks for 2 seasons. I have so many thoughts about this. The first one is, what are you doing? You're getting a huge buyout from the Bucks. You could go anywhere you want and still be filthy rich for the next several seasons. Go to a contender, get that elusive ring. You're a top 75 player of all time. Go get a championship while you can. The second thought is, good for you, man. You're valuing your family, your overall quality of life, and just being home more than winning a title in your waning years coming off an Achilles injury. So kudos to Dame. I'm stoked for him. I'm a little bit sad to see him not get a title because he will not get one now. This is basically sealing his fate. He will retire a Blazer ringless. And that's okay. The truth is, he's 35 years old, coming off an Achilles injury. He's going to miss next season entirely, which, by the way, he's going to make $70 million to rehab his Achilles. Between his buyout with the Bucks and his salary with the Blazers, he's going to get $70 million next year to just rehab his Achilles. So that's not a bad deal. So he's coming off an Achilles injury at age 35. Kobe Bryant tore his Achilles at 34, played basically a season and a half after that, and was just an absolute shell of himself. Klay Thompson tore his Achilles not long ago. He's currently 35. We've seen him. He's also just maybe 70% of what he used to be at most. So the reality is, Dame probably will not ever be even 80% of what we've known him to be. This is a great move for the Blazers. They're going to excite their fan base again. They're probably going to miss the playoffs next year, maybe even tank, hope to get a draft pick and see if they can be competitive for the year or two that have Dame before he retires. But from a business standpoint, this is a great move for the Blazers. He's probably the most beloved player in Blazers history. Clyde Drexler would have to be up there, and maybe a couple of other guys. Bill Walton played there. But you got to think Dame is the most popular player in Blazers history. They've got him back. He'll retire where he should from like a fairy tale standpoint. But it's just a shame that he's not going to get that ring. I'm sure he looked at it and thought, you know what? My quality of life is going to be way better in Portland, where I'm home with my kids, where I'm comfortable, friends, family, all that stuff. Versus what, maybe a year from now, he's the number 3 option on a title contending team, maybe even down at like the number 4 option. He's just kind of a guy, similar to Gary Payton with the Heat. You got the ring. It's awesome. It kind of is like a crowning moment of your career in a sense. But when you're a superstar of Damian Lillard's level, unless you're 1 or 2 on a championship team, it just doesn't hold the same weight anyway. So he probably thought, you know what, I don't care. I'm going to set myself up financially for the rest of my life. I'm going to be with my family. I'm going to enjoy my life. And I had a great career, ring or no ring. As expected, he had several offers from title contending teams offering him a minimum or a mid-level exception type of salary because they knew he was getting that buyout from Milwaukee. He chose to forego those. He's getting a 3-year, $42 million deal from the Blazers. So again, he's going to make $70 million next year to not even play. Pretty incredible. I wish I was seeing him going and getting a ring as like a number 2 option on a team somewhere. But the truth is that probably wasn't even going to be a possibility anyway, because by the time he's back playing, he'll be 36 years old, coming off of an Achilles tear as a short player. It's just going to be really, really hard to ever produce at the level he was producing before the injury. The Lakers have made it abundantly clear that this is Luka's team, not LeBron's. Now there's all these rumors going around that they are gearing up everything they can to land Nikola Jokic in 2027. As we know, Jokic declined to extend his contract with the Nuggets. He'll be a free agent in 2027, and the Lakers are doing everything in their power to set themselves up to snag him with a max contract to team up with his friend, Luka Doncic. These two together would be pretty lethal. I don't know that it's a huge upgrade from LeBron and Luka. It is an upgrade, but it's not like a massive one. So if you can't even get to the Western Conference Finals with LeBron, you're probably not going to win a championship just by getting Jokic. But if they can shore up some things defensively with some other players around these two weak defenders, that would be a lethal combination for several seasons. They just would need a couple of key defensive pieces around them. But that's what they're gearing up to do. They are basically saying, LeBron, thank you, but we're done. Luka, it's all you. Luka's getting in shape. I think revenge season is underway. And if they can get Jokic a year or 2 from now, holy cow, that would be insane. All right, fun Michael Jordan stat for all you Jordan haters out there saying that he can only score. He was a ball hog. Well, guess what? 2 guys in the history of the league have averaged 11+ assists for an NBA Finals series. Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan. LeBron didn't make the list. Stockton didn't make the list. Just Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson. Furthermore, there's that time when Jordan played point guard for a handful of games. He had like 11 triple doubles in 13 games or something like that. Jordan could do anything and everything he was asked to. Scoring is clearly the most important part of basketball. Score points, put the ball in the hole, and then stop your opponent. He was fantastic at both of those. And when he was asked to pass the ball, when he was asked to facilitate, when he needed to facilitate, he absolutely excelled at it. One of only two guys to average 11 plus assists for an entire NBA Finals, ahead of Steph Curry, ahead of John Stockton, ahead of LeBron James, ahead of Isaiah Thomas, ahead of Nikola Jokic. All these guys who are known as being facilitators, pass-first guys. No. Jordan and Magic, that's the list. Love or hate LeBron, you cannot deny that he is one of the all-time greats in the history of this game. So the question is, with the Lakers making it so clear that this is Luka's team and they are moving on from LeBron James, the question is, how should LeBron go out? Does he return home to Cleveland to try and win a title there, which would be amazing if he were able to get them another one? Does he play this final season with the Lakers and make it a farewell tour? Does he try to team up with another big superstar like Steph Curry or Nikola Jokic in Golden State or in Denver and win a title there? It's clear that LeBron still has a decent amount left in the tank and he can perform at a high level, but when you're that caliber of player, do you want to watch your skills and your desirability just diminish? He's too great to have his skills diminish and his desirability diminish down to almost nothing. There's a few teams out there that want him, of course. He still can perform at a high level. There's a lot of gas left in the tank. But I'm talking like Michael Jordan, Jerry Seinfeld type stuff. Jerry Seinfeld could have kept doing Seinfeld forever, right? But it was so incredibly perfect that it was like, let's go out on top. Jordan, the same thing. He came back to the Wizards and had those 2 seasons, and honestly, it's kind of looked down on. It's looked as like almost like a blemish on his career to a lot of people. So the question is, what does LeBron want to do? Does he make this a farewell tour in LA? Does he make this his last season, season 23? He's already got the all-time scoring record. He's got the 4 rings. He could go get another ring. He could go get a 5th championship if he went back to Cleveland, teamed up with Donovan Mitchell. Maybe he forces a buyout with LA, and then he can go anywhere for a league minimum. I think his pride is too much to do that. Go take some like veteran minimum or mid-level exception on some contender. I think his pride's too much for that. But this is a guy he's not your average player. This is LeBron freaking James, one of the greatest players in the history of the game. He needs to go out in a way that is very, very respectable. And getting to a point where teams don't want you is not respectable. So he needs to avoid that. There's a very high likelihood that this is LeBron's last season. And I think maybe it should be. Make it a farewell tour wherever you go. Stay in LA, force a buyout. Maybe he does his final season in LA and then he does 1 season somewhere else. But if you're going to do 2 more years, I would make it with the same team for both those seasons. If you're going to go home, find a way to get a buyout or get traded to Cleveland now so you can go home for 2 seasons and give it your best shot to win 1 more championship, which would actually be amazing if he brought another championship to the Cavaliers. So do that or make this a farewell tour in LA. But either way, LeBron is slowly getting to a point where his production won't be worth what it costs in money, in headache, in planning. There's a lot of things that come with a star of LeBron James' caliber, especially when they're clearly in their waning years. So I don't blame LA for gearing this entirely around Luka. I think that's what they should be doing. Luka's getting in shape, and it's going to be an exciting season for him. The question is, what does LeBron James do to go out on top in his way as one of the all-time great players of this game?